WIBTA if I sabotaged an adoption? I, 44M, have been dating my girlfriend, 38F, for coming up on a year and a half, and things have been going extremely well. Compatibility off the charts, chemistry, the whole nine. All of the bad decision genes seem to have skipped her and gone to her sister, 32F, who I'll call Jane. Before I get to the juicy stuff, you should know a little about Jane and her husband Jimmy, 30M. Jane met her husband Jimmy and was married within 3 months. Jimmy works maintenance at a rental company, but he was broke as a joke, so he ended up stealing $8,000 from his church to pay for her ring. Jane is also struggling, making about $14 an hour at the company they rent their apartment from. Their rocky finances didn't stop them from buying 3 of those MLM magic water filtration machines, $5,000 each, and that number is not a typo. I don't know how they got that money, maybe it was from her dad? At any rate, it's not the money, it's that they have stopped using all soaps entirely because, quote, soaps have chemicals in them so they're unhealthy. They also didn't change the water filter for over 2 years because they filters are $150 each. In her TikTok where she tries to sell these $5,000 machines, no sales yet, she showed the blackened filter and proudly said, "Look at how many impurities this machine catches. This is how you know it works." Yuck. Jane and Jimmy offered to let my girlfriend move in for $400 a month, giving her a chance to save up money to pay off medical bills before she moves in with me. She mainly stays in her room since the rest of the apartment smells awful from the weird oils and body odors. It was then that my girlfriend saw more about their living situation, like how Jane reads the Bible to Jimmy each night until he falls asleep, with him asking the occasional "what's that word mean?" questions. I've only been over a few times, like when I was checking in on their cats when they left to take care of their dad for a week. In a moment I'm not exactly proud of, I saw they kept their finances out on a dry erase board and I snapped a pic to review later. They spend $1,000 a month on protein powder and turmeric, $700 on groceries and $300 on miscellaneous cash given to Jimmy, which we all know is him buying fast food. I could go on about those too, but hopefully that's enough to establish their character. They've been trying over the last 2 years to get pregnant, with no success. Jane tends to get sick a lot, and quite a few infections, so when she went to an actual doctor, not her usual holistic doctor, the chronic UTIs led the doc to say no sex for 6 months, which has been extended a few times. Well, that's put a damper in their dreams to have a child. I asked my girlfriend if she believes they're sticking to that, and she truly does believe they are. Hallelujah. A couple weeks back, Jimmy learned that his sister, who has been living on the streets in LA due to addiction, has been trying to sell her baby for drug money to anyone that will pay. She doesn't want her, she wants drugs. She doesn't know who the dad is, so he's not in the picture. It's a horrible situation. The child is now with an adoption agency and they're looking for someone to adopt. Presumably because the medical bills for coke/meth detox on a baby cannot be cheap. Jimmy heard this and wanted to adopt the baby, F5MO, since he's related. I think that's honorable, but I don't think they're in a position to do so. That didn't stop them from proceeding full steam ahead, and they filled out all the paperwork and are now waiting for a final walkthrough of their place before everything is official. I don't even know how they got approved, but I suspect they lied about their finances. Jane asked my girlfriend to baby-proof her room at her own expense, and also asked my GF for her social security number. I suspect this is so they could run credit on her too, but I don't know enough about adoption process to really know. My girlfriend declined giving her SSN though, since that's all sorts of sketchy. At any rate, there's a baby shower in a week to welcome the baby. Both my girlfriend and I are invited, and we're going. I don't want to bring any gifts since it seems like that signifies approval of this, because I don't approve. I think it'll ruin them because they can barely afford living as it is. A healthy child would ruin their finances, so a baby with expensive medical bills and ongoing health concerns due to coke and meth addiction seems especially rough. This also puts my girlfriend out, since she has no desire to live in a 2-bedroom apartment with a baby. Okay, I think that's it. It feels like fever dream insanity to me, but as a father myself, I know exactly how much it costs for daycare, clothes, food, diapers, formula, etc. Daycare alone will be $2,000 a month, so even if they cut out the protein powders and fast food, that doesn't even cover that, let alone formula, clothing, car seats, strollers, everything. My girlfriend will have to move out after moving in just a few months ago, which is annoying but doable. I believe this will be absolutely devastating to Jane and Jimmy though, since if Jane quits her job, her $2,200 per MO income goes away, as well as her $400 apartment discount, as well as my girlfriend's $400 rent payment. So THT readers/listeners, what do I do? Do I anonymously contact the adoption agency and voice these concerns to try to stop the adoption? They're flying the baby out in January, so there isn't much time. Do I sit by and watch people ruin their lives, and the child's life, before they put it up for adoption again? I can give an update after the baby shower too, if that helps. But time is quickly running out before the baby is here.